Greetings. Okay, there's no live stream tonight. My internet is down. It's down for the next 2 days. Until Monday, around 3 o'clock, there was a truck outside that was working on the pole, and something hit the, I don't know, they were doing, either way. When I went to check it at 7 o'clock tonight, it was gone. So I've had issues before, but it's history for right now. So I'm using my internet. I'm using internet off my phone right now. That's all I can do. So yeah, this is. I'm not saying I'm all that surprised, but kind of pain in the ass. But what's new? All right. So I'm on this new setup. I'm going to use. We'll see where this goes, and I'll be live Monday night. We can also kind of troubleshoot it yesterday, so we're going to give it another shot. I'm not sure where this is going to go. I tested this, and okay. Those are new to all this, livetalk.com. I would skip this, but I'm going to try it out. There's private sessions. We're on a channel. Google has Zoom and channel by phone. In the shop, well, it gives you an update too, because I got kind of backed up for obvious reasons. So I'm still on the 4th of August because of current situation. Same situation here. Other channels and whoever I do recommend. Social network, the Rabbit, and early uploading, early something around those lines, early everything. So okay, so this is going to be. I was going to talk about this a while back, but here we are. Okay, this is about the Zeta. So it's obviously there's different ways of looking at it and getting a download to give them more insight into their mind, their thinking. Obviously, some of them might not be always the most positive, but they're warning. Just look at it from that point of view. So, like we are warning. So, if you want to get the mentality, think of a gamer, think of a hacker, think of a programmer. That is the Zeta. Now, there are Syrian, Palladians. A lot of them have this type of MO. But those that have people that have kids that are hacker kids or gamer kids are a little bit lighter. Hacker kids are not so light. They're a little bit more complicated. So the Zeta, the true Zeta, is more like the hacker Zeta. The dark web, things like that. They go into the dark web without any care in the world. So I know how to spell. The dark web is wow, that looks really scary. But either it's horror, the dark web. Anyway, this is just like a. Anyway, just to give you just a briefing on that. Some people already know about this, but if you're looking for a way of defining the Zeta, that's one way of talking about it. Of course, you have Syrians are very similar to that, Palladians, and Arturians are magician-like. Everybody has, and even Andromedans can be similar to that too, but a higher vibration, depending. So, we're all different. Everybody has their own point of view. So, as far as going to bring in Atlantean energies, we will do so, but go into, we'll do continue Anki. Plan on going to Atlantean connections also. But we're going to go Anki, Zeta. Well, the idea of this is DNA, but I don't know if they're going to do that or not. They're supposed to do this yesterday, but we'll see how that goes. DNA meaning the mouse, even the duck. I know the duck. Sense of humor. Even the mantis has a sense of humor, but ducks are kind of goofy themselves, right? Even the canine. Cats, they're funny, but more moody. But yeah, they can be funny too, of course. So yeah, for alien disclosure, I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to um, disclose this or title this, I should say. So alien disclosure, depending on how you look at it, it is possible. Depending if you want to go insane or not. It is possible to bring in those energies. I don't know to what degree exactly. Like for, they're going to start doing, selfies with everybody, and start doing autographs. But I believe it's a process. First, you go insane, and you might have like 4 or 5 years of that. So you're connected to their energy field. A lot of beings. I mean, you're kind of someone's like not maybe not 5 years, but it's kind of like you're going against reality. And reality is telling you no, and you just say, I don't care, I'm going to do this anyway. It's like the timeline to disclosure, meaning timeline to an alien being for that matter for some kind of contact, is what I'm getting at with that. And I think Alex Collier has gone insane. He's had his moments. Others think he didn't have that connection. I believe he has. Yeah, I mean, I believe so. For what I believe it was physical. Feels physical. That means he was actually Alex Collier around 2008. That's when I found that. That's probably one of my first alien connections. But I didn't realize you can actually connect to these beings physically. I thought they had to actually show. I mean, yeah, they had to physically show up and just, hey, how's it going? Knock on your door, get ice cream or something like that. Okay, maybe not that, but I didn't realize it was on a psychic level also. And the other one was Bob Lazar. I might even do a video about it. Feel like what the hell, right? I've talked about it before in the past. I've not really gone into depth. Not that I'm going to go that deep into it, but this is like the sum of it. I mean, you'd say that was a black ops type of situation. And there are a lot of inconsistencies there, like false truths. But I feel like the major thing was disclosing Area 51, putting it into the public. That was all that matters. It is a little bit strange how he got picked and everything. It's like, why you? What's so great about you? It's like, of course, I don't know the whole details of that. I haven't really channeled into that. That's kind of like talking about 9/11. It's like, we can go somewhere with it, but, if you have no internet now, think about having no internet forever. Something like that. So, I don't want to go into details of what other things can occur, but either way. Yeah. That's not what happened, but but yeah, Bob Lazar feels like, it was just about getting the Area 51. Of course, other people will say, I don't think it was really out there before him. I'm not sure, but even Art Bell talked to him. He always tells Art Bell talked to Bob Lazar. It's always the same story. Never changed it. There might be some things that aren't, I don't know if we're ever going to know the truth completely. But either way, put it into the limelight. And, when these beings, they do these dark things, the light has to come through eventually. It has to be a compromise. He's like, you can do all this dark shit, but you have to put the truth out there somewhere. Just like that documentary that was done by Millie Weaver, and she ended up going to jail. And I was, people say that was staged. Now it's like, didn't look very staged there. Those look pretty real. Yeah, that's I guess some people just live in a bubble of non-belief, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So, hoping the audio is recording on this thing. There's no way to really tell. Worked out yesterday, so we're just gonna hope for the best. Yeah, it doesn't have a meter here, but I imagine we're fine. Not like somebody can message me right now and say, "Yeah, your audio is not working." So, okay. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on right now. I feel like there is some kind of disclosure energy coming through. Let's put it that way. Kennedy the Anunnaki. I don't know, some feathers are getting ruffled. Let's put it that way. Where this is all going is hard to say. Yeah, connected to aliens isn't what it cracked out to be, especially when you start losing your mind. Yeah, how many are fully ready to go into the wild yonder? So we'll just have, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't mean that being's going to start appearing out of nowhere, but anything's possible. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, it's almost like you're like sacrificing yourself, sort of. Your time, your space, your freedom for the greater good. It's not like you're jumping out of a building or something like off a cliff, but it kind of feels that way. But I don't know where this is all going. I don't know. So I'm preparing for something. Now, the whole thing about the election, yeah, it's hilarious. The whole thing is absolutely hilarious. They need something. The media needs something to talk about. They need, they can't just sit there and look at each other all day. But if they did, that'd be absolutely hilarious. I think that'd be more entertaining than what they're doing right now. It's just like a bunch of kids. Now they're just crying about the election. Then next year they cry. Next after that they'll just cry about something else. Just like a nursery. It's like pretty much. So anyway, it's entertainment for some people. So all right, we're going to continue with Anki. I haven't dived into the other ones, so just do Anki for a while. And okay, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. This is Anki. Greetings to your society of growth. Your Zetas are like children. They absorb a great deal, but they are yes go into dimensions and realities where other beings cannot. They're kind of like multi-dimensional worm beings in some ways. They just know how to open different realities and slip in and slip out. They are kind of like robots, yes. They're a necessity for your growth. As some of them want to be human like you. They envy your place in the world. Not all of you, some of you envy them. Where they come from is a part of evolution, of creation. They were needed. A being that was a little bit Arcturian, a little bit reptilian, a little bit insectoid, a little bit of multi-dimensional diversity. Yes, they're not always. Now, they act all negative, or they don't always understand. When they abduct, they think nothing of it. It's like, they don't. As you have slaughterhouses, they see humans as as not the same as that, but they do see humans as cattle. And some they don't understand everything of what they're putting it through. As you don't understand a fish when you put it through all that trauma, you catch it and throw it back into the water, all the trauma you put it through. So humans are like, oh, what about so humanity is stepping more into its energy field of understanding the Zeta and other beings, but for some of you, the Zeta, to bring them into your reality as necessary. Yes, they're rough around the edges, but that's how they learn, like you were. You're rough, they're rough. They're very similar to you, but very different. They're part of your evolution, basically your DNA, because they can find DNA that works with you. They also find other civilizations that you're similar to. They're just like I say, multi-dimensional beings that can come out of nowhere and figure out things where other beings are. I mean, they can do things that other alien beings can never do. And yes, you can get squashed, taken over, manipulated, whatever it might be, but does that remind you of somebody? Yes, you might put a name of not of unfriendliness on a Zeta, but what about the human? You've had your moments also, so they are very similar to you. Yes, there's other realities that they're connected to. There's some that wanted to advance themselves quicker than your reality, so they went through what they went through, as creating a Shikani, Asasani reality. But there's always different, there's, yes, a great amount of Zetas here in different forms. Some of the of a hacker energy of they want to play around, but they want to learn as you do. They don't just go to the movies. They might watch a movie, but they don't experience it the same way as you do. They just don't. We'll just leave it at that. They don't want to go into full details. I feel like they want to bore you to death. But yes, you are very, DNA wise, you are very connected to your rodents, the mouse, the rat. As the rat can be a very highly intelligent being. Very intelligent. So intelligent, yes, it starts to stink and sometimes smells not so great. But it knows what it wants. Yes, it can crawl and eat through anything practically, depending on the rat itself. Now, the higher dimensional rats, yes, can be like venom on your world. But they were brought to your world, at least the mice, friendly your energy. The rat is more like the reptilian version of the human, you could say. The mouse is very connected to you, the kindness, but also, yes, your biology is very similar. As for, you have to figure things out about yourself. Also, the pig is similar in its own ways, too. As all beings are here, but has at least on the mouse is basically kind of like your twin. They have personalities. They're rat, mouse, alien beings that are not. They're similar to humans. Let's put it that way. Not through your emotional state, but they've learned a great deal. They can adapt very easily and become very similar to what you have been through. And yes, there are mouse worlds that are other versions of Earth, definitely. But the mouse basically is for you to figure yourself out, a mirror of yourselves. So those are your brothers and sisters, basically. As you might not see that way on a physical level, because a physical human is living in their little bubble, aren't they? But as you look at it from a more metaphysical side, they are the same as you, as all beings here. Even the crocodile is very similar. Now, there are some crocodile or some humans that are raptor-like, dinosaur-like, conquer others, show their power. Whether they've been suppressed throughout their incarnations, it's just normal for them. In their darkness, realize some beings in their darkness have been kings, have been celebrities. Why would you want to let that go? So you incarnate here and still think you're the same thing. Why would you want to let go of that darkness? What would be the point? And over time, in your incarnation in this world, say like you're here to live something else, you realize the energy of that life is not here anymore. It's like some people have been actors, now they're old actors, now it's like it's time to move on. But they keep trying to be that actor, no jobs, no nothing, the world's not. And it's like same thing with warlords. They have difficulty moving on. Sometimes they are put into a chair, into a wheelchair where they can't walk. Because when they're walking, it causes a lot of terror. So when they can't walk, is it being punished or is it just being settled down? Because a lot of them have a lot of darkness in their mind and not ready to let it go. There are certain ones that are like this. Yes, but they're also a warlord that used to be a celebrity is difficult to heal. That's why this world is so, a gift to the universe. It's like we will take them. Well, other worlds is like we don't even know what to do with them. It's like once they incarnate, but it's like, yeah, but it's like, do we really want something like that here? But your world takes it in. As you have your gangs of all kinds, your politicians, they're not much different than your gang members, pretty much. Or your media mongols, no different than your gang members. And your bankers are no different than your gang. Are you seeing a trend here? Yeah, your banker is sometimes more lethal, usually, than any gangster on your world. As some of you know. And the hidden gangster is far worse, as you know. But you're here to unravel a great deal of that, aren't you? To see more of your truths. And many of you are, yes, you can say, putting your foot down, which is good, but not easy. So sometimes you have to weather the storm. It's like you asked for the storm to come, now you have to go through it. It's called the awakening. Some awakenings are very rough, and this one's one of them. For some of you, not all of you. Some of you, well, everyone has a different level, and for us to go to, it's not. We'll let you interpret that either way you wish. But many of you want a fourth dimension reality or fifth dimension. It's a rough storm, as you can see. It was predicted by another being, yes. And there's different ways of interpreting that. As there was timelines that were given a glimpse to be said through imagery, allegory, to what is to come, that you're currently going through. In some ways, you are going into a rapture, not of your typical words, but a apocalypse of change. It has not set its motion just yet, but it is going to, not yet, and it's very difficult to predict, to let you know that. Apocalypse doesn't mean it has to be hell either. Change can be apocalyptic for some. It's like, oh, I have to wear different clothes. I have to think differently. That's the apocalypse for some, as some knows. But realize also, yes, your rat and your mice are, yes, your friends. Okay, you might not want to have them close to you and hugging and kissing, but as you connect with them, you'll see more of how close you are on a spiritual level. Even your horse, a spirit guide being, basically. Horses are your trusty, your steed, bring direction. I mean, how many have had difficulties with a horse? Not many. Your horse, like your canine, is your best friend. Your feline is your watcher, your protector. And they always, yes, they get grouchy protecting all the time, as you can see. And so is the rabbit. The rabbit has a different way of going about it. Greetings to you, we are the Atlanteans. Yes, there is an apocalyptic change coming about. As some of you are ripping through this reality, as some of you are feeling the changes on a spiritual level. As yes, there's a third dimensional shift. It's turning into a fourth dimensional shift. It doesn't mean anomalies of the 4D, 5D are going to truly come in instantly, but for you on a vibrational level, they are already here. It's stronger than they've ever been before. Those doorways into the unknown have gotten stronger with many of you, become more of an understanding of it. Everyone has their own role and your own power, of course. That hasn't been fully activated just yet because the world can't handle superpower people at a higher level of flying, seeing through things, x-ray vision, things of that sort. Not to say you can't do those things. On an astral level, you can connect to your flying abilities. Some might feel like they can hover, possibly, but some, it's like, why they're not flying beings right now? That timeline does exist. That's all we can say on that. And some are concentrating on too. Say you might not be flying in the sky, but your higher dimensional self might be connected to the windows of the higher realms, meaning activating more of your abilities. So they say it's one thing you're working on, but it does something else to trigger in a positive way. Some may want to go unnatural to the third dimension, but as you work on those abilities, telepathic abilities, which is very strong within those that wish to open their minds, and you can just say the word, I want to be telepathic with you, and open up your mind, and all of a sudden that person's no longer your friend. So there's other reasons why certain relationships break up. It's like, I don't think so. I'm having too much fun. I'm gonna open my mind up to you. So yes, you're going through a river of change. Where that change is going is basically up to you. Yes, your timelines are there. If you want to grasp into it, of a positive reality, some of you want a complicated reality. Your stock market is going to continue to shift, but not where you think it might go. Yes, might feel like the demise of humanity and all of that, but someone trying to bring that timeline in. Some need those timelines to come in of their own demise, whatever it might be. Sometimes they need a change. But many of you are going to just ride around a lot of that to just find what you're looking for. Fourth dimension reality, fifth dimension, or an alien presence that is getting more curious of your planet every day, of a physical connection. Doesn't mean they're going to open up the doors just yet, but some of you are going to feel more of a connection over time. Over the next, I want to say next 10 days, actually, for some of you. You'll feel a quantum leap of awakening. Once again, individually, on a planetary level. But that's the whole thing, is to open one's eye, one's senses of what's here. Once again, individually. Those of you who are struggling, continue to manifest your awakening. But also don't forget to live your life. So you're working on fourth dimension, but you don't always realize what third dimension that you might be missing. Some of you might feel that, and some of you might just say, no, there's nothing to miss in third dimension. So then give it time. It has not fully arrived for you yet for various reasons. Doesn't mean your guides are keeping it back from you. It's more like your energy field is waiting. Does not mean it will not bring it into your reality on a full force. Or a full, we don't use the word force, but on the world stage. Blessings.